God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. God only knows how it's killing you. But there's a kind of love that God only knows. God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. But God only knows the real you. There's a kind of love that God only knows.
Welcome to Season 2, Episode 12 of Your Journey Is Not Over. My name is Tanya Pearson Randolph. This is my own personal journey, and the expressions and opinions are of my own. I own all the rights to my personal journey, and to Your Journey Is Not Over. Neither are to be used, copied, or edited in any way without my consent. As I said Tuesday, I'm going to try and jump back on my own personal journey, never realizing that so much took place in just 1 year, my freshman year. Looking back at it now, it was a lot. Living it, and at the time, it was just my life, doing what I'd always had to do since birth. Live it and survive it. Always in survival mode. And never really giving any thought to the fact that this couldn't be normal, right? Because to me, it was normal. Never knowing anything but trials, tribulations, and survival. I have had friends reach out from school and tell me they never knew or could never tell that my life was like that at home. As I've always said, if you weren't part of my own little world, or if you weren't in my bubble, meaning that if you weren't at my house around my mom and her many moods or personalities, then of course no one would have a clue. To the friends that were in my bubble, so to speak, very few friends at that. I didn't subject too many people to her. She was very unpredictable and embarrassing. So I was very selective as to who I brought home around her. So of course, people at school again thought I was the girl next door. Or again, I was walking on sunshine. It probably seemed like I had the best life and I didn't have a care in the world to everyone on the outside looking in. I excelled at school. I could laugh and truly be myself. I could be and show happiness. Be social without someone being my mom, trying to stifle me or embarrass me or put me down. She always took strides in tearing me down, chipping away at my confidence. Now looking back, I truly think she wanted me to feel about myself the way she must have felt about herself. When I was younger, she would always chop my hair up to make me less attractive, and I was always dressed in hand-me-downs, rags pretty much. And it was always clothes and shoes that were way too small. So anything to make me look and feel ugly. As I got older and of course worked and I bought my own clothes, she didn't like that too much. And as sad as it was, there was a hatred and a jealousy toward me. She would take any opportunity to tear me down in any way possible. At school and even on my jobs, it was a freeing feeling. I could be myself, truly me, and my personality could shine through. School and work became my escape from the hell at home. Like I said in a previous podcast, I went by my old house. It's something I hadn't done in years. And looking at it like any outsider, yes, it's beautiful on the outside. Beautiful brick ranch style home. But the memories of the horror and the hell that took place behind those closed doors are something I will never forget. And something most people couldn't even imagine. Not long ago, my best friend since 12 years old came to visit me. She was in my bubble, so she got to see with her own two eyes some things in the treatment I was subjected to by my mom. She told me some things during our visit that I never even knew or realized. She said people envied me for my personality, for my looks, and for my love of people, and of course, my sense of humor. But they had no idea what I dealt with at home. Just goes to show, we as a society do envy people based on perceptions or what is displayed in public, or the idea of who we think a person is. And because I have never walked around playing victim or telling my truths for sympathy, Never looking or needing sympathy. It's not my character. I've always tried to have dignity and self respect, never wanting that kind of attention or pity. Have I known people throughout my journey that love to play the victim card and love the sympathy and the attention? Yes, most definitely. And I also have met people on my journey that make up trauma just to receive attention, pity, and sympathy. I've even had certain people pretend like my childhood trauma was theirs or it was their childhood. Can I wrap my head around it? Never. Again, it must be a mental illness to need or want to pretend to be a victim of such horrible traumas. I myself never have wanted to be seen as a victim. Growing up like I had to and in the depths of it all, I never see myself as a victim or poor me. Again, it was just my life, the circumstances I was born into, and again, who I was born to. So, did I hide it to the outside world? Yes. And I let everyone judge me off of perceptions, what they seen at school or out with my friends or on my jobs. During those times, that was actually who I was. I'm outgoing, funny, I'm goofy, I'm silly, and I have a huge personality. And I have a love for people like no other. I'm still not a victim, even doing this podcast. I don't see myself as a victim. I see myself as a survivor, and most definitely don't want sympathy or pity. I want people's perceptions to change and to realize that no matter what a person displays to the public, we never know the private battles that truly go on behind closed doors. We can't judge a book by the cover without reading the pages, the chapters of that book. We shouldn't be judging anyone anyway. That's not our job. That's God's job. We need to display kindness, love, and understanding and grace, no matter what backgrounds, no matter what economical backgrounds, no matter who it is. Instead of envying people for who we think they are, we need to admire people and strive to be better, to do better. A few months ago, I opened my home and my life to a girlfriend that I had just met. I truly took to her, and with an open heart and nothing but love for this person. Well, months went by, and I started to notice tension, and her trying intentionally with malice and intent in her heart to hurt me, at first with words and then actions. I can't wrap my head around things like that. If I love you and you're part of my world, I can't purposely hurt you. I'm not built that way. God didn't design me that way. And I'm someone that has been hurt and betrayed my whole life. So I would never want to inflict hurt or pain onto anyone else. And anyone that knows me knows that yes, I have a big mouth and I'm a very blunt person, but I also have a huge heart. I always say my heart's the size of Texas. I hold no malice or intent to hurt anyone, let alone someone I have tried to help and love. Her actions became blatant and very obvious. See, I'm a very kind, nurturing person, and people around me sometimes mistake my kindness for weakness or stupidity. That's their mistake, because I don't miss anything or the intentions behind fake smiles. Well, finally, it was something I felt I needed to address with this so called friend. I did it face to face, and I did it as gentle as I possibly could, letting her know I was onto this behavior, that I truly had love, nothing but love for her. No malice, no hidden agenda with me. I had opened my heart, my home, my life completely to her. And why she felt the need to hurt me, betray me, backstab me in every way possible was beyond my comprehension. Again, I can't wrap my head around things like that. I essentially just told her, there's something about me that you dislike, or I intimidate you, of course, without me even trying. Then that's a problem within herself. It had absolutely nothing to do with me at all. My light must have irritated her demons. No matter how nice, loving, giving I was, she felt the need to hurt me in any way she could. The reason I'm sharing this is because people need to step back and take a good, long, hard look at themselves and stop projecting onto other people. What we dislike in other people can most likely be parts of ourselves that we dislike. It's almost like a mirror to our own flaws. Did I try to save this friendship? Yes. I don't like to give up on anyone that I care about. But after this open and honest conversation, I will just say the tension and the betrayals became more obvious. I could no longer pretend like we were friends. And as I say, people reveal who they truly are to me, and I now believe them. I no longer overlook or make excuses as to why they would possibly purposely hurt or betray me. And I also must understand and not take it personal. When people can't be loyal to themselves or their own blood family, then how in the world can we expect them to be loyal to anyone else? These are lessons learned on my journey. I call them life lessons. I know I started out saying I was going to jump back in to my own personal journey, but when I sat down to write these podcasts, I truly have no control. Best way I can explain it is I pray and then I just channel in. And my pen just goes. I've told several people that it's almost like magic. When I am finished, I proofread and I'm like, I wrote this? There's no way. Most of the time, I have no memory of what I write. I know that's hard for some to believe, but it's the truth. I shock myself most of the time. Truly, I do. So with that being said, I will try and jump back on my own personal journey next Tuesday. By the way, it's going to be one of my funniest stories of being a, what I call, pain in the butt teacher's daughter, and of my dad who endured but led me through all of the chaos. Hey, Dad, ditto. So this concludes my podcast for today. Please join me next Tuesday. Listen in, and always remember, your journey is not over. God bless.
God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. God only knows how it's killing you. But there's a kind of love that God only knows. God only knows what you've been